then we flip to the NFC side of the ball, and we see the Saints, Packers, Rams, and the Giants. The Seahawks, the Bucks, Vikings, and the Cardinals are really all competing for it. I wouldn't say anyone else besides those 8 teams are competing for it. Sorry, Bears, you're done. I think this is interesting, honestly. I think the Saints are the 1 seed, clearly. I don't think they're going to lose it. They're winning games with Taysom Hill. They are the best team in the NFC. Would you have any disagreements with that?
I would say the Packers have a shot to be, okay, but I don't think they'll get it. I think the Saints will keep it. I mean, just seeing what the Saints are doing with Taysom Hill just being Jalen Hurts thing about the Eagles, with Carson Wentz being benched and then Jalen Hurts coming in and kind of providing something that Carson Wentz didn't. It's the same kind of thing with Taysom Hill. He just provides something different that Drew Brees just can't do, and that's just run around. Taysom Hill is definitely not as good of a passer as Drew Brees, but in the NFL now, you don't need to be a outstanding passer to be effective. So, I mean, it's interesting with them, and then when Drew Brees gets back, they still use Taysom Hill, so they're still going to use him in different packages, so that makes him super dangerous. But the Packers, I like a lot. I really do like Aaron Rodgers. Devontae Adams is a beast, and Aaron Jones can be the best running back in the NFL. He looked like it at the beginning, and then now he kind of is petering off a little bit. But and I like their other receivers. Robert Tonyan, I really like a lot. They're tight end, but also Alan Lazard is a really good number 2. So
he's shown himself.
Yeah, I mean, most people when they think of Packers think, oh, it's Devontae Adams. That's kind of it. But they really do have some decent pieces. I mean, not as good as some of the other teams, but they could give the Saints a run for their money for that 1 seed. But other than that, I don't see another team. The Rams are good, but they have limitations, I think.
I sort of want to talk about the Rams for half a second.
Yeah.
They're 8-4. Like,
I know.
That's impressive. No one really expected that from them. And they're leading the division over the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. And that's big. Like, and the Seahawks have collapsed, like, completely. Not completely, of course, but their defense sucks. There's no way of, like, toning that down. Their defense sucks. And Russell Wilson, he blew it. He was MVP for the first 7 weeks, and then he just said, I'm going to throw interceptions a ton. And people are figuring him out. I get they haven't had Chris Carson for a bit, but they had Chris Carson against the Giants, and the Giants beat them, which respect to the Giants. I think they're coached well. They're not going to do anything, but give them a year. I honestly think they're going to be able to compete for more than just a wild card spot. But who do you think wins that division? Because even the Cardinals still have a chance. You think the Cardinals, Rams, or the Seahawks?
Cardinals are not going to win the division. Sorry. Like, I'm just looking now. The 49ers are only a game back of the Cardinals, and the 49ers are much worse, I think, than the Cardinals are. But it's going to come down to the Rams and Seahawks. Let me look at their schedule really fast, because I'll look at the Rams. The Rams defense is top-notch. Like, they're really good.
Aaron Donald is the only other person competing for the Defensive Player of the Year, like I mentioned with the TJ Watt. I think it's Aaron Donald, but if TJ Watt got it, he very much deserves it.
Yeah. So they play the Patriots actually tomorrow night as we're recording this. This might come out after. I'm not really sure, but so you might know the winner of this game, the Patriots and Rams game. I have a feeling the Rams will win, but we'll just see.
They'll be rolling.
Then they play the Jets, and then the game I think that'll decide it is the Seahawks game 2 days after Christmas. I think that kind of will decide it, because I think the Rams will be 10-4 going into that game, and then possibly win the last week.
Yeah, I definitely
be 12-4. So I think they could be 12-4, and then the Seahawks have to play the Jets and the Redskins. The Redskins are no joke. You can't really count them out. Yeah. Especially if they're competing for the NFC East. So,
which is a fun matchup, I'm gonna be honest. I'm sort of rooting for the Redskins, or the Washington football team.
So, yeah. So they both play the Jets. So they're both gonna win that. The difference is the Seahawks play the 49ers and the Rams play the Cardinals. Yep. So, I think I think it really will come down to the Rams-Seahawks game, but I could also see the Seahawks just because they play the 49ers. It could come down to that Week 17. Seahawks win, Rams lose, and that's how it ends. I mean, that could happen too. So it's really up in the air. I think the Seahawks will actually pull away with it just because of Russell Wilson forcing it to happen. But we'll see.
Wilson's blowing his case for MVP, but let's see in the last 4 games of the season. Let's see him redeem himself. But if he's playing like he has been the last month, they're gonna lose. They're gonna be in the playoffs for sure, but they're gonna definitely lose their shot at that 3 seed, or heck, even 2 seed. So then I want to sort of talk about that 6, 7, 8 spot. The Cardinals, Minnesota Vikings, and the Bucks. What the crap is going on right there?
Dude, I don't know. All I know is when I heard you say those 3 teams, I thought of the Bucks because of Tom Brady, and I'm like, how is he a 5, 6, or 7 seed? Like, that doesn't even seem right. Which, I mean, I don't really know how that's possible. I mean, he's not going to win the division, so he's going to be a 5, 6, or 7 seed, which that's the first time in his career that he's been that low. I'm pretty sure.
I want to say he had 1 year, I think, where he was but I think that was when he was injured for the Patriots. So no, I think this is sort of a new thing for him.
So that's not going to be good. And you've seen him this year a couple of times collapse, and the Rams game was one of them. And he could easily, I mean, if he's the 5 seed, which is what they kind of have to hope for so they can play the NFC East winner, then he'll be fine, and I think he could get to that next round. But if he's a 6 or 7 seed, watch out. I think Tom Brady might be one and done for that. For that, that's all I have to say about that, really. But the Cardinals, I really like a lot. It's hard to watch because they're another team that's kind of collapsed recently. So
they're the Texans of 2 years ago, where they have a good quarterback. Kyler's great.
Hey, speaking of that, Hopkins is on the team too.
Hopkins on the team as well. The defense is bipolar. Best way to put it. It's just sort of all over the place. But their O-line sucks. And it's just, I don't think Cliff Kingsbury is a fantastic coach. I think he's good, but I don't think he's fantastic. I think it's going to come down to whether they can upset or not. I'm not betting on them. I think the Bucks are getting into the playoffs because Brady will will himself into the playoffs, and their defense is good enough. But the Vikings are interesting to me for sure because I don't think they deserve it. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Vikings in the playoffs. The AFC is just more appealing to me. The NFC is just not that appealing. I feel like it's probably going to be the Saints and the Packers in the Super Bowl or in the NFC Championship, and I don't really think anyone else is competing with them, and I don't really care about the rest. I'm honestly more fascinated by who's going to win the division between the Giants and the football team than I am for the rest of the division. I don't know if it's a bad thing to say, but I am actually curious. I want to watch those games. I don't care about the rest of the East. Is that just, or the National NFC? Is that just me, or
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason you're saying that probably is because you've seen the Seahawks and Cardinals both kind of start to decline, and it's those were 2 of the teams that you thought, okay, they can actually do something. The Cardinals could be a sneaky team, and the Seahawks could compete for the 1 seed because at a time earlier this year they were. And so you're like, okay, it's going to be competitive between 3 teams, but now it's down to basically 2, and we'll see what happens. But I think to answer your question about Giants and Washington, I think Antonio Gibson is going to kind of tell a lot. If he can come back, because turf toe, that injury, when I watched it, it looked pretty bad. And I just don't know how bad it actually is, but he's a big thing that drives their offense. And so I think that's going to depend because the Giants have been doing what they've been doing without Daniel Jones as of late, which is crazy, and without Saquon, of course, who got injured way earlier in the season. So they're doing it without some really talented pieces. And the Redskins, I don't know how they're going to be able to do it without Gibson. So I think the Giants might pull away, which I never thought I would say that.
The Redskins have to face the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Niners, and the Eagles. So it's 3 games that are tough, honestly, that are throw-ups. I could see the football team beating the Seahawks because the Seahawks defense just sucks.
No,
and then
that's not going to happen.
I mean, we didn't say that. We said that about the Steelers, and the Steelers defense is good. That's where I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It's weird. The NFL is so weird. Week to week, you never know what's going to happen.
True.
Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm watching, I think Colin Cowherd say this earlier. Like, he's like, I don't like any of the AFC South teams, like the Titans or Colts. Like, who knows? Like, one week they're great, one week they're awful. So it's just
true. So a final thing is I'll show you the Giants' schedule as well. As they face the Cardinals, the Browns, the Ravens, and the Cowboys. Now who wins the division? Because that Giants schedule looks horrible. Cardinals could easily win. Browns, I have no reason to say the Giants will beat the Browns.
Yeah, but also the Browns are pretty. Even though they're 9-3,
they're due for a win. They're due for a loss.
They're inconsistent, I think. I mean, I don't know.
Still, this is a tough schedule.
It's tough.
So, like, what do we expect from? Like, who's winning? I'm honestly so fascinated about who's going to win the division. And the Cowboys are still in it. That's the sad part.
No, they're not. They're not in it. If the Cowboys win this division, I will do a giveaway on this channel or something.
Wow. You said it here first. Okay, I'm rooting for the Cowboys.
You have to pitch in. It's half of your channel too.
I'm doing it on my channel as well. We're giving if the Cowboys win the division, we're giving away stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is a long video. I don't know if it's going to be split into or not, but thank you for watching these videos. Make sure to check out our NBA stuff and more NFL stuff will come up on the way. Hope you guys liked it. Let us know if you have any feedback or want us to do anything else. Talk to you guys later.